Hello there.
Please help me introduce one of the most finest in the Northern Cape arts and entertainment in sector. Kaise has been doing, this is a person who's been doing her thing from the start. She's been doing her thing. You know, she graduated from being an artist to being a journalist, and she still kept the whole thing together between being an artist and being a journalist. This is Kaise. Please, ladies and gentlemen, Ntusing, let me introduce to you Ukaise and listen to our story.
Hello there.
Bendithi ndifaka imask ne kodwa ke hayi hayi uyayikhupha uyohlala mara da bayefamela. How's it?
I'm fine.
How's
thank
it
you.
been?
It's been
Where
good.
are you?
I'm here. I'm right here. 053, that's where I am. I'm on the channel.
I don't know you no more.
I'm on the channel.
I haven't been seeing you on the scene, actually.
Yeah, I'm not on the scene no more. I must say, I'm not on the scene. But I'm here. I'm not on the scene, but I'm part of the scene. I'm behind the scene. Yes. Doing the same thing.
Just where behind the scene? Just where exactly behind the scene? Yeah,
Very far. I'm part of a departmental communications group now. I'm still into writing, but I'm just not doing it on the commercial day-to-day artist stage thing. I'm not doing it for departmental. I'm not like one of their communicators, one of our departments in the province. So I'm just keeping it real.
But are you still allowed to do
I'm doing my thing.
to do work for us as artists?
Here am I.
Because it means what you are telling me is that you are actually an official of government.
I'm a public servant, I would put it like that. I've always been a public servant.
You've always
I've
been.
a public servant. I think just now I'm under the official part of things. I'm a public servant. I just move more to the departmental part of things because I think they need to understand what we're all about. We cannot keep on crying to this departments and this government and saying that they're not doing it when we're not a part of it. So you must go inside, speak the language and understand them and portray what we want them to understand. In a sense, they must live with the actors. They must understand this girl that comes to work with his green hair, what she's all about. In a sense, she can also be an official, she can also be out of crazy and things like that. But it's part of the game.
Hello there. Hello there.
So tell me, what have you been up to in terms of you being an artist? Because I'm kind of afraid when artists start working for especially the government, it's like they tend to lose themselves. I'm afraid that now that you're working for the government and you are still an artist, are you still in contact with your artistry?
Yes, I'm still in contact. The nice part about me and the type of art I do, I'm a writer, I'm a journalist, I'm a communicator. So like such things are part of our government system, our policies. So at least I could find myself in part of the governing structures of South Africa. It's always where I wanted to be. As an artist, but I've always been very interested in, not to say politics and such, but in governance, being part of our country, you know, not being always on the sideline as an artist. wanting people to talk for you, to talk about you through channels. But me being part of the game, being part of the system, being there and being the person that I am, the artist that I am, as I'm still part of the system, I'm writing. I'm a communicator. I'm promoting the health pages for our provincial Northern Cape Department's health. So I run their magazine.
Okay.
So I'm still a journalist and things.
Please don't get me wrong. I don't dispute the fact that you are part of government now. It's just that I'm afraid of you losing your artistry, your work, who you are. Because our issues as artists has always been against the government. Right? I'm sure you know this. Now, what about us? What about now? Now that you work for the government, will you be able to address your issues with the government?
Yes. As I say, we are part of a governing body as a country. So as I am an artist, I'm part of the system, I am still allowed to do the things. You know, we have our heritage celebrations within the official departments. I'm allowed to actually organize events because of my expertise. People trust that I'll be able to handle it. In terms of media, they know that if something should be told or something should be reached to the people, she'll be able to do it because it's in her line of work. So actually, I feel working for a department, having a full-time job, everyday income, working for it like that, is actually boosting my part of things because I've always wanted a full-time funding that I can rely on for my art. And I guess me working for the department every day has been the reliable funding system for me. Yes, and so far it has been the funding system for my art that has worked out because, yes, I am working now with a lot of programs, translation programs within the department, where you find that, especially with this time of the COVID-19, there are a lot of terms and languages that people like COVID itself, the word corona, and it's not in Afrikaans, it's not in our Khoi languages, it's Setswana, we don't have them. So we're in a position where our department has to communicate, our unit, so to say, the communications unit of the health system has to communicate to the entire country at this time.
You see,
so that's where I come in. I help in translating the languages to the people.
You see, I'm asking you this question because I'm kind of missing you in the scene of the artistry.
I miss myself also.
I miss you because I don't see you in, like, you are not as active as I know you. You are not as active as you've always been.
I've actually been overseas for 4 years now.
That's why I'm asking you because I can see there's a contrast between you being a government official and the used to be
the foot soldier.
The foot soldier. So you are no longer a foot soldier, but you are now part of the government, and I'm not seeing you on the scenes. I've been to all of these. I've been to a lot of events, a lot of stuff that is happening for the artists. But I'm not seeing you. And when I asked about you, that was one of the very first things that came up, that popped out from another artist that said, "Nya o bereka la government." You understand?
Yeah.
So I'm afraid of your work. I've seen your work.
Yes.
I know your
work. You know
work.
the fire I am. It's not. No, I wouldn't say kile. Never. Because when it comes to the system, when it comes to us artists, my experience, I'm like one of the founders of CISA within the province. We were hurt to a certain extent that we're in positions where, as much as we were reliable and being able to handle these positions within the arts, we could just easily be switched off or shut down by, how should I say, departmental superiors, sports agriculture superiors. If they feel that they're interested in you, or you're just saying so much and you're not singing their song, or you're not there saying things the way they want them to be said, then they dump you, So I think I kind of was discouraged, I was dumped in how we were treated, and just certain platforms, certain forums, certain organizations are for artists, and we don't need the intervention of officials when it comes to those forums. So I was just kind of dumped by how officials took over the lives of the artists.
Fine. So would you say, is it an issue of the Department of Arts and Culture, or is it an issue of CIFSA within itself? What is the issue actually?
I wouldn't say
Because I'm asking you this because I'm seeing a lot of posts on social media right now, currently, especially right now. A lot of artists are crying. A lot of artists are crying. And I'm not even sure to say, is it funny? I almost said it's funny.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure that if it's really funny. Because these artists are part of SIFSA.
Yes.
Now they are crying, they are writing all of these posts on social media about SIFSA. And then there are those who are writing on social media, the same group, but against the department. Now I'm not even sure if it's the department or is it SIFSA.
What I would say is the fact that, well, SIFSA, it's for the artists, but
Okay.
it's an agency of the department. So the problem was the line that couldn't be drawn between where their responsibilities ended as a department and where actually they must allow us artists to do us. You understand? And it just came to a point whenever it's in the art, for you to make a noise and to be heard, to find your foot and to be supported, you must fight really bad. You must bring out this animal that I am tired of bringing out of myself. You know? That animal comes with a lot of energies, and some of us, our destiny within the arts is not only getting on stage and making money. We are healers. Some of us, we are people that we are revolutionists. We are activists. We are not necessarily here to be able to make sure that we get money and live from it. For us, for me, it's a calling. And no matter where I go, I'll always be an artist, and I'll always have to convey my art to the next people. So it sometimes, as myself, as also somebody, a healer, the fighting within the arts was just darkening my calling. You can't really heal people when you're always angry, when you're not okay, when you're neutral. So for me to actually move out of the scene, the everyday scene, was also to come and humble to my calling, to come and humble to other inheritance that I have, other cultural aspects within me.
But
that I have to
guys,
respect.
would you say this is about SIFSA, or would you say it's about it's about an artist against the department, or would you say this is about an artist against SIFSA? Is it about SIFSA and the artist, or is it about the artist and the department, or is it both?
I would say it's...
What is the issue here?
The issue is...
I mean, there's already SIFSA. SIFSA is supposed to help the artist,
Yes.
right? The department is supposed to help the artist.
Yeah.
Both these two entities, I'm not seeing them working because artists are crying.
They're not working because...
I'm an artist myself.
Yeah.
I've been crying against SIFSA. I've been crying against the department.
Yes.
Who do we blame here? Who do we say?
Yes, I don't know. We cannot blame anyone because the minute we start behaving or treating our art as a responsibility of the system, as I would say, then we are to blame. Sometimes I come to a point and I'm saying, if the department is not there, if funding is not there for makers to move on with our art, what's going to happen with our art? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
When SIFSA came into the picture, it was for the department to actually move a little bit out of our business and allow ourselves to move on with us as artists, but with having full support of our government. That one, it's owed to us. They need to support us. You understand? So SIFSA again, it didn't become what it should be. It didn't draw the line between the artists standing on themselves and being supported by the government. The government, once again, SIFSA became the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. SIFSA became the department, took over, and the artists again were under full control of the department because now most officials from the department became officials within SIFSA. You understand? So I just think that the artists must really find a way of being able to be stand on their own without having to report much to the policies and the government structures that are out there for them now.
Okay. Enough about that.
Yes.
We will not even dwell into the real politics.
Why I left the scene.
Why you left the scene. Guys, what is next for you? What is next for you? I need you to be visible. Personally, I feel you need to. I don't see you on the scene. What is next for you? At least to satisfy me, to see you again on the scene as an artist. Not as the governor of your
Yes.
official, because you are an artist before everything.
Before everything.
Yeah.
It's always going to be the same thing. It's always going to be language. What's next for me is language. It's not saying I'm into translating. We have the biggest problem when it comes to Northern Cape. I used to say when people come to Northern Cape, they must treat it like a special, disabled, or a province of special needs. Not with the negativity of it, but we are not like all the other provinces. We cannot be accommodated under the same umbrella and said, okay, now this is what we're going to do for the artists and the entire artists of the country. No, we gotta be looked through a certain spectacle. The spectacle that we have to be looked through is one of the spectacles of our language. You know, when it comes to us expressing ourselves, us conveying a message, that language, why is it I think it's one of the things that we never reach out to the people in all organizations, as political organizations, art organizations, certain communal organizations. The Northern Cape always has that one big problem of just chaotic and not being understood by the bigger country. So I think I minimized and I moved to the smaller part of the language. How do we communicate to the world out there? Why are we not understood?
But doesn't it start with us?
It starts with us.
The way of witty and the
Yeah.
Because I think if we take it from that point, the way in every kasi, in every ghetto of South Africa, probably our languages can be taken seriously if we take our kasi languages seriously.
More seriously.
Because right now, I'm sure Lowena Shibilen Kuntun, Lubua English, Lubua to feel it, interpret the feel. Somebody said to me, I'm sure there was a situation which I would not mention, right?
Yeah.
There was a situation, somebody said something, in passing, he said like something basically in what the feel English. That's why we are drunk, and it was true. Because what the feel English our languages and stuff. You understand? Just to wrap it up, I need you to let me know what are you going to do that is different for our languages to be promoted, especially the Northern Cape languages. Because we've got this thing and it's not really Tital. Kisi Kimbal, Ripua Faniami, Ripua Fan.
And what for Naka and position that say?
How we use it sharp, no fire. You understand? That is Sikimbal. What are you going to do just to wrap it up? What are you going to do when, or what are your plans, or what are you planning to do to conserve?
Understand you.
To conserve our languages, the street language, Yamo Kimbal.
To answer your question, and maybe for the battle, the language in corner Kimbali. As that's how we are the Europe of South Africa. That's how. Yes, we have that English Afrikaans twang thing to us, which comes from our English and our Afrikaans. Remember, we were colonized. This is Kimberley, the era, mining era, the diamond rush. It's not Mohabu Manguna. Mawa kama kimba bato da kimba le kutlema Zulu kutlema Tebele kutlema Kui kutlema eng. So se rona re se buang mo kimba le mono ka se sound se le proper because ha motho a kimba le pa ga tsela mo TV a go acta Batswana ba tswang go ba Botswana ba Basotho ba le bothata ka go re buang ka teng gore re bua rofo re bua re tala re bua sentle ebe ga tshwana gore re acte mo filming tsa Setswana because re bua Setswana. But since batho ba go Kimberley teng and mo khore mo ka teng ga go ga re tshogela ga di go dimo go Botswana ga re tshogela re tswa mo Kimberley re phatela tla
This is us.
And re sentse mo go mining re tswa re batho ba se fana ka lo so go tswa mo tabele se fana ka lo tla ga languages Kimberley Kimberley e dirwe ke Maxhosa a tswang goa
This fanakalo, I need you to break it down for me. But this is for another episode.
It's for another episode, but
you need to make it. You need to break it down.
So people say about Tom the Hori. It's saver praat soos die boere of soos die regte Afrikaans sprekende mense nie. Maar ons Afrikaans kom nie fair van ons af. Die regte Afrikaans van Kimberley so die ver van ons af. Is daar op die Namakwa-land, is hierop. En hulle is 'n tipe Afrikaans, ook nie tipe Afrikaans, maar die Afrikaans sprekende mense op die boeke is Afrikaans. Dieselfde sal wees nie. Is verskil. So is so 'n bietjie rof en vinnig en deur mekaar, maar is ons.
Speaking about these languages
See,
stuff,
Tigalo.
I'm seeing you flip speaking. You've just spoken 5 languages. Right in front of me. Right in front of the nation. You've just skipped from Isxhosa to Setswana to Isfanagalo to the streets.
And there's the other thing about
That is how we speak.
Exactly. And there's the other thing about us.
You probably know you be savor Afrikaans.
Afrikaans spreken, my oma van Namibia.
Right.
My oma, my ma slaat my Afrikaans.
Wow. I never knew that
It's
part.
Damara. I'm
I never
Damara.
knew
Ek is
that.
Namakoi. Ek is nie in Zulu nie.
Namakoi.
Yeah.
So how do you relate with the Khoisan people who's just been here?
I relate with them. Actually, the Platfontein people, actually the descendants of my grandmother, directly from Namibia, the Damara people. The Damara people, they call them.
Okay.
So they are actually the people in Platfontein, Bishop Damara Khoi. I'm not just sure how they call themselves. But
No.
that's where I descend.
Okay. Now please make me. I hear you saying a word that I'm familiar of, but I heard it from a guy from Joburg. The guy is called Amatamara. Amatamara man. He's a singer.
Yes.
What's his name again? Eric Gwala.
Yeah.
Eric Gwala is singing about Amatamara. I never knew, but Amatamara apparently in jail, it's some kind of code.
Okay, interesting. That's
Amatamara.
Right.
Ne? In fact, Ufredi Gwala, if you can check him out, you can even Google him. Eric Gwala, Amatamara has been his brand actually. It has been part of his whole thing. It's his selling point.
All right.
It's been Amatamara Volume 1, Amatamara, all his album, Amatamara Volume 2.
No, the Damaras are the Namakoi people from Namibia. My grandmother was from Valdes. They're the Damara
As an authority dimension.
Ik zal ook niet kennen, als het clever was. Je kent me, je ziet van mij.
Yeah, because die Eric Gwala is zo'n trend dat clever.
Ja, zeker. Ik is een clever, je ziet me. Ik kan niet komen van die paarden, ik zie paarden.
Die is eetgast.
Ik is
Die is dan.
heel woke.
Sheva, okay, let's wrap it up.
Thank you very much.
Let's wrap it up.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, it was good.
What's next for you?
Translations
What's
of
coming? What's coming up? What should we expect from you? What should the people at home expect from you?
On stage, I'm writing. I have a piece that one of the pieces. I'm there on stage. I'm going. I have a production towards the end of the year. Within the lockdown situations, we are working towards that. So I have other girls. I like to break into the scene with the young coming girls. So I have other girls also from one of our local high schools.
What is the production about?
It's gender-based violence.
Gender-based
It's
violence.
about women
Is the theatrical
yes,
production?
it's a theatrical, statistical production. The women again speak out, fight out, and it's more about the women that actually endure and are okay with the violence.
Okay.
Yes, it's about the scene of black women that were taught, that come from a culture of being okay with being beaten.
Are you already in production or you are about
I'm
to?
writing, I'm in production, we're writing.
You're still writing?
We're writing, we're in production with 5 ladies that we are busy writing. Between the production.
You've already
started.
casted?
Yes, we are not casted, we have started with the writing.
Okay.
We have chosen our poems, we're concentrating on the writing.
Is there a part of a guy? Jane, can me, I can play the guy.
The guy, you can play the guy. No, now the guys that are involved in my life and the guys that are involved in my productions are, I would say are the guys, are the woman guys that I deal with.
Okay, so there's no part for a guy
No, there's
that
no.
I can
No.
probably audition for.
No.
Because you know what, I'm asking you this because I want to kind of give back
To the community.
to the gender-based situation. You understand?
We make space.
Because
we definitely make space.
I'm asking you this
If
because I've been trying to write something from a guy's perspective to say
Interesting.
it's not because a lot of people when you say King maybe that-
GBV.
GBV,
Yes. Gender-based.
especially women, basadi ba nagana ha o bua ka GBV o bua ka abuse against women. They don't
It's
understand, they
gender.
don't get it already. It's about either go na le mosadi o abuse monna or go na le monna o abuse mosadi. You understand? There's a lot of guys being abused. You understand? I might even be one of those guys. right now.
that is being violated.
But Ratsaba go bua rona because we are seen as being a weakling. You know, when I tell you what I'm not saying, not necessarily who mara. Sometimes even verbal abuse.
Violation in jail.
You understand? That's why I can maybe, you know, I would want to be part of the whole GBV thing.
Yes, the whole production to come and say something. We consider it
And
interesting.
especially it's not even an issue, you know. Now it has become actually a fashion. Everybody holding social ID or more social media, all of a sudden GBV.
Yes.
You understand?
Current affairs, things that are happening at the moment.
But please safeguard that GBV thing. You understand?
Yes, I
Because
understand.
as I'm saying,
It's good. It's good
because
that you
a lot of people are taking advantage of that.
Yes.
You understand? Especially the elite.
The elite.
The elite.
You must understand when some of us, our separation is not really under being beaten or some certain things like that we can handle.
Okay.
Yes.
But I've realized for it. GBV. What about GBV in the arts? In the arts, because now I've witnessed a lot of GBV in the arts.
Within the arts, what I will violate you, as in like violate.
In the arts.
Hey.
O bua ka pay ya gago, especially as a woman, o bua ka pay ya gago gore mona yanong ka o kry wo tlapua ka tlapa.
That's what you did. I've seen actually artists actually being violated like that.
I think a person like you should actually take advantage, not really advantage, but to make use of, to fight GBV within the arts. I don't know if you understand me. There's a lot of
like the
activists.
animal in me.
Sheba, there's already GBV activists in every sector.
True.
Modi artsing. What about that actress? All wants you one. What about that actor? All wants you one. But that's a topic for another day.
And I'm sure this episode is to open a lot of topics.
Yes. We'll have so much more. Actually, you should be my anchor, man. You should be my co-anchor. Gatwe airtime dire depleted. Thanks for your time. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for making time. Thank you so much for being part of this first journey for me. Thank you for this. I mean, this is the first thing that I've ever done, which is very different, other than music.
Thank you. Never about time to get on TV.
Thank you, Ndindi. Diabulela, for being part of Lendle.
Enkosi kakhulu ukunifaka kuyo le ndlela yakho.
Ne?
Enkosi.
Alright. Jonganet sisiflopa njani.
Yeah, we're going to see how possible English.
Was a Nelo African support. It was Nelo African support. Mensen van Zuid-Afrika. Ek is net klaar met mevrou.
Met juffrou.
But how do you call an activist in Afrikaans? So that I can
That's
get it up.
homework.
Huh?
That's homework. For us.
Mensen by die huis, die elite not really, there's so much to talk about. Is unfortunately, that's it nie, praat we airtime is depleted. Ek wil dumediseng kere bye bye and bye dankie. Kaise masibabulise emakhaya.
Bye.
Siyamthanda nonke emakhaya.
Bye.
Thanks a million. Cheers.
Hello there.
socializing, connecting with energies, feeding from facial expressions, holding on to broken hands, soothing aged feet, blowing kisses to admired crowds, sending vibrations with less expectations, dancing to the loud speakers of my soul, breaking bread with the saints. I just want to rid this frustration of self-isolation. I miss socializing. I have a piece that I'm going to recite. It's a reading piece. It is titled, I'm Afraid of the Devil. I'm not afraid of snakes, lions, or crows. I'm not afraid of men carrying guns, bombs, or knives, or not. I'm not scared of men beating, raping, or killing. No, I'm not. But I'm scared. I'm scared of the devil. In her soul, burgundy, blonde, and brunette hair. The one with the clean, properly done manicure, ready to dig in my business. Her. The one who's ready to back mouth me. For a sit at the men's table, applauding the cheating men at the expense of setting out a sisterhood. Her. The one who's quick to notice my hair is messy, but can never lend me a comb. The one who's quick to notice the tear in my shoe and not the tear in my eye. The one who thinks it's cool to call my man bestie or sugar, knowing very well that's a recipe for adding salt to my plate. The woman that tells your man you should leave your woman, she's not your type. I'm still trying to figure out who appoints these judges that chooses and picks types. That woman who thinks cause she's friends with my man, no boundaries are necessary unless it is her turn, and when the tables turn, she starts to pray about it intensely, setting up all sorts of rules, and she writes in a diary of a mad black woman. The devil who meditates and prays that your relationship or your marriage fails so she can look you in the eye and tell you, you ain't shit. The devil who meditates, the devil who intervenes, the devil who invented being a side dish because she had a point to prove. Oh yes, she did, because now we all realize that men can multitask, and we all delicate. We just all delicacies at a feast. The one who's willing to wreck her home because she's just an unstoppable hurricane, or she just has a point to prove. The devil who without struggle holds tightly a grin beneath a frown, and she thinks that she's better. Because the other sisters are not trying, they're not trying, and because she's managing, the other sisters are just lazy. And these single moms these single moms are just so loose, but the devil has performed the lesion processes in her room with the Doctor Who. So you see, maybe the devil doesn't know that it's much easier to fix another woman's crown than to lift her dress, because to lift a dress, you need to look down. And you know, this maternal gene shit is a story way past its prime, because the devil is female and she just don't care. Currently living on earth, then in hell. She vacations in hell. The woman, the devil, she's on earth.
Hello there.